As paperwork, how should or do you set up your paperwork to protect either your kennel or, even more importantly, your dogs? The dogs always come first. We're rooted in care. We're going to walk you through one of the processes when I give somebody their ABKC registration form. It's a lot of numbers on this thing, so I can't turn it around. I mean, we got Hot Shot's number, we got Zara's number, and we got that puppy registration number. Oh my, so many things have changed. Stay tuned, people. Guys, so there's a couple ways that you can set up protecting your brand and your dogs. Let me be very clear. The branded dogs for us, the ones that are going to get us to the AMT, American Terrier, M's going to stand for muscle, always will be in my possession. I got to keep them safe. And not to say that Jamarcus or Jamal or anybody else would ever put the dogs in harm's way. But when you do this thing, you got to do it right. So two things. On your registration form, seller's signature, I sign it. I write in the date. I circle full breeding rights. Down here, what will happen is, like with Zara's paperwork, and I'll show you. With Zara's paperwork, they, the guy, oh man, I got so much paperwork, hold on. I'm trying to make better decisions. Man, that's good paperwork right there. I got a folder. I can't never find them people. And these folks came in and cleaned this place up. They cleaned it up, got me tight. I can't stand when stuff is clean. Look, I will show you. I might show you an excerpt, and we might B-roll it when I find it. But the gist of it is this. Zara, on Zara's paperwork, the dude filled out, so he signs it. He says authentic bullies, and then I write her name. So on her paperwork, it says authentic bully. All I have to do is write her name, fill this out. I would encourage you to do the digital version of this. But here's the thing: there's now been I wrote Baloo's a little different. I wrote Eagles a little different, and I wrote Maya's a little different. See how I like to look at it on paper. So there'd be a specific way that it looks like a fit bully dog on paper. But even when Jamarcus registers Junior and gives you a good look at him, you know, meaning like in the future you guys potentially could use Junior as a stud. It's up to you. It'll be there for the taking. Everything will go through Jamarcus. I have nothing to do with it. Him and Hunter co-own Junior. So it will not say FBK, to be clear. Make sure you guys understand this. Any dog that I allow, keyword, the kennel partners, to use as studs and get money, it's not an FBK dog. It's not an FBK dog, okay? It's an FBK dog, but it ain't an FBK on paper. Why? Because I produced the dog per se. Produce just means I chose two dogs. They had a puppy. Puppy turns out the way we kind of liked it, and we're gonna do our best to bring the dog to life. There's nothing magical about it. But instead of, this is the other thing, if you buy a dog from me with breeding rights, I don't want anybody to know that we know each other. And that's no disrespect to people who are trying to do their own thing. You buy a puppy with breeding rights from me, you can put your own kennel down and say, I started with this dog and this is my dog. I don't care. You having your name on a dog that I helped create or that I came out of my pocket per se, or my house or my program, and you putting your name on it, it means nothing to me. It really doesn't. It doesn't make or break me, because I will always have the fit willy dogs. And those dogs, well, you know those dogs. I could go down the line, but if you're watching, you know those dogs. You know why those dogs matter. You know why they're special. You know why you care about them. You care about them because I care about them. And that's the gist of it. So, I repeat, when doing your paperwork, two ways to protect your paperwork. And a couple people do it a few different ways. One way is this. They'll write down their kennel and then somebody can fill out the kennel name. Even other times, they will file and pay for all the paperwork and hand someone the paperwork just to keep everything safe. And even to hand them the paperwork, guess what? On the back of your paperwork, which I can show you. See this right here? Date of sale, new owner. So even if I fill everything out and put my name on it, you can still turn around and literally list your name and all the other stuff. And sometimes people will have you come and do the signature thing. So you might have to go to their house or meet up with them. Be careful. Meet up with them and do the paperwork and sign the thing, and they'll fill it all out and say. And that's if they're super possessive. Now I could possessive over the dog, to be clear. So they're like, no man, I need to make sure I'm gonna hold on to the paperwork and keep such and such. I'm not knocking no way in which nobody does it. What I'm telling you is, if you buy a fit bully from me, and you bought breeding rights, which that's check breeding rights. I don't want nobody to know that we know each other, because our intent and your intent more than likely does not align. And I'm not saying that the people who bought dogs doesn't align. I'm telling you, it's none of my business. And unless you're literally breeding and going down the same path as us, we're not trying to make better bullies. I'm trying to make good dogs. You know what a good dog is? It's a dog that people love beyond a reasonable doubt, that can live over 7 years, can go on 2 to 3 mile walks if need be, and it's well taken care of from a food nutrition standpoint. Do you guys know what the definition of like is? Let's look this up real quick. Since we're here. Like definition. So it says here, like, having the same characteristics, qualities as similar to. Character is something that oftentimes people leave in question. You say, man, that person showed their character in a moment of adversity, and you lost faith in them. Stop trusting them, stop believing in them. 9 out of 10 times, when it comes to these dogs, everyone knows I don't play. I don't believe that a lot of character is being put into the dogs in terms of how you're making choices to better the dogs and better the dog world. My only intent is to better the dog world. That's it. Past that, we get to a place where it might be 2 breedings every 2 years. Once I have the dogs that I need. Guys, take care of your dog. Remember, there's 2 ways to fill out paperwork. One, you can literally do it all yourself if you're the breeder, and make sure that you mail it in and get it back and then give it to them. Or you can simply do what? I could put in whatever I want, Fit Bully Kennels, FBK, whatever, and then they write the name, send this off, and boom, it's a Fit Bully dog on paper. But as I said before, not today, Satan. Take care of your dogs.